Alright guys, it's this time again. It's time to build some fucking beast mode. And today we're not going to do any gym. We are just going to be training athletic training. Today guys, I'm going to be teaching you the deadlift. So don't sleep on this exercise guys, it's time to build some beasts. And today we're starting with deadlifts. Now, why do you want to be doing deadlifts? Guys, deadlift is the absolute best exercise on the planet to burn calories, to max your testosterone out, to max all of your hormones out, to build maximal amount of muscle mass in minimum amount of time spent. So deadlift is a magical exercise, and you've been skipping it because you've been hearing that it hurts your back or it can damage your back. It's all bullshit. Doing it wrong, yes, it might damage your back, but this is why I'm here. I'm going to teach you step by step exactly how not you do it right, how you do it perfect, because the deadlift doesn't finish in the deadlift. It is supposed to finish in a clean and then in an overhead extension. So I will show you what you do when you have learned the deadlift, how you can expand that to other exercises. So let's go guys, this is time for real fucking athletic training, no bodybuilding shit. Let's roll. Alright, so step one in how you do a proper deadlift. Nah, it's not the stance, it's not the grip, it's not how you lift the bar, it's how you breathe. So you have to understand, when you're doing either squats or deadlifts, there is a lot of load on your spine. There is a lot of weight that want to compress your discs in the spine, and you have to prevent that. Otherwise, this is exactly how you get injured. And how do you prevent that? You have to brace your core. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to breathe out and try to tense your abs. You're not doing a crunch. Bracing the core is the opposite of a crunch. You're breathing in as much air as possible into the lower parts of your lungs, and then you're tensing everything. So your core, everything around is rock hard. So if somebody would come up and punch you, you wouldn't even feel that punch. And this is how it looks. So focus on breathing in the stomach. So you see my stomach is coming out. And now when there is full of air, you tensing it. This is how it looks when you are actually breathing for a deadlift. Now everywhere is rock hard. So start training on just the breathing, guys. Before you start doing the deadlift, do 5 breaths. Breathe in with your stomach, tense as much as you can, breathe out, breathe in. And you will see that the core starts being activated, because you don't have to specially train your core. You have to just activate it. Every single human on this planet has a core, because the core is responsible for helping you to stand up. So if you wouldn't have core muscles, you would be falling apart. You just don't know how to activate them. And this is how you activate them before a deadlift. Step one before you start doing deadlift is this. Now, when you start feeling that the core is activated, step two is the stance. How wide do you want to be standing in a deadlift? Well, as tight as possible. You see, there is 2 linings on the barbell. There is a reason for it. This is not aesthetics. And this is exactly where you want to be having your feet. You want to be having your feet exactly under those 2 linings that doesn't have this thingy on them. Why? Because that gives you the shortest range of movement. And now, when you are lifting maximal heavy weight, you don't want to have the longest range of movement. You want to have the shortest, because then you can lift the heaviest. Logical, right? So, feet straight in under this part on the barbell, and hands as close to your feet as possible. Because if your hands are wide, the range of movement is going to be much longer. If your hands are tight, you don't have to lift so much, your traps don't have to work so much, and you can lift heavier weight. So, step 1, feet. Step 2, hands. Step 3, now, ass. What happens with the ass? Most of you guys, when you are doing deadlift, your legs are too weak and your back is too strong, because you've been overworking the back and underworking the legs. And then you end up in exactly this position. And then you do a deadlift that looks like this. Now that's almost a Romanian deadlift, but that's not the reason you want to be doing deadlift. This part overloads the back, works the hamstrings a lot, does almost nothing for your legs, very little for your core, and it's just not a deadlift. So ass goes down. Number 1, breathing. Number 2, stance. Number 3, grip. Number 4, ass down. So you want to be feeling that you are sitting down, pretty much what you would be doing in a squat. So a deadlift and a squat is very similar. It's just where the difference is where the weight is. So now, you sitting down. And step number 4 is your shoulders, guys. You don't want to have your shoulders forward tilted, because that will lead to you being forward tilted and you are extending the legs and then working with the back. And that's not how a deadlift looks, and you will never get maximally strong if you're doing it like that. Ass down, shoulders back. That means get into your power position, even in the bottom position. And then, when it actually comes to the lift, brace your core and press your feet through the floor. So don't think that you are lifting the barbell up. the barbell will come up anyway. In your head, you are just thinking that you are pressing your feet through the floor. You want to press the ground down. So this is how it looks when you prepare for a perfect deadlift. Ass down, shoulders back, tension in the core. And now, on the way down, just before the barbell comes to your knees, there you start releasing all the tension and let the barbell drop. You don't go in slow motion down. Why? Because you will not be able to be in the perfect position on the way down. So just above the knees, that is when you let the barbell go down. And then you reset. So you don't do a bouncing deadlift like they do in CrossFit. They do in CrossFit like that when they compete, but not like when they train, if they are proper CrossFitters. If they're just members of a box, then they do everything bouncing, but that's not what you want to be doing. So now we show you 5 reps how it looks. And did you notice where I was breathing? You only breathe when the weight is in standstill. You never let any air in or out when the barbell is in movement. So you drop the barbell on the floor, rebreath. And that doesn't mean that you breathe out all the air. You just take a small rebreath, 20% out, then come up again. All right, guys, so now you perfected the deadlift. What can you transfer the deadlift into? Into a clean, into a squat clean, into a clean and jerk, into a clean pull. There is a million things you can do with a deadlift, and I will be showing you this throughout the whole week. But now, I'm gonna fuck your heads up totally, because just when you understand the deadlift, I'm gonna mess everything up. This way of doing deadlift is 10 times harder. This is a deadlift prepared for snatch. Now you guys know what a snatch is, right? If you don't know, keep watching this channel. You're gonna learn not only what it is, but how to do it. So what is the difference in this deadlift? Stance have to be wider, and your toes are pointing outwards. They are not standing here, wider and pointing outwards. Why? Because now your grip will be as wide as you possibly can hold. That means your knees will be in the way. So you will have to take your knees out to the side to give space for the barbell to be coming up. Don't worry, I know you don't understand nothing, but when I start explaining it deeper, you will understand everything. But that is the stance, a wider stance, because a wider grip. So now this barbell don't have any linings out here. I would need that. So I'm gonna be holding a little bit tighter grip than normally. But this, guys, is how a snatch deadlift looks. And now, why do you want to be doing a snatch deadlift? First of all, it works your traps extremely. It's not even comparable what a deadlift does for your traps, what a snatch deadlift does for your traps. Another thing, when I say traps, you are thinking this, right? But nah, it's working every millimeter of your traps, because in the wide grip, the barbell is so much heavier. So you will have to go down in weight, probably 50% between a snatch and a regular deadlift. And that's okay, because there is part of your traps that will still be on fire more, even though weight is less, because the distribution is different. Now, the second biggest reason why you want to be doing a snatch deadlift is because we want to learn to snatch. So you have to learn how to deadlift, because that's the first initiation. Deadlift, then hip thrust, then a shrug, and then finally, you finish it with a snatch. And I know it looks scary as hell, but I am going to teach you how to do it perfectly, guys. So now, guys, this is the difference how it looks from a snatch deadlift to a normal deadlift that you just saw. So, a wider stance and your toes out, a wider grip and knees out. Not like in a normal deadlift forward, knees out, because the bar has to have space to move. And the ass, guys. So the ass will start a little bit higher up. You won't be able to sit down exactly like in a regular deadlift. You're starting slightly higher up. And then shoulder, power position always, core braced always. And re-breathing at the bottom. And now let's do some action. Rather too old. 40 years, trust me, in my life, 40 years is like 400 in normal people's. But it doesn't matter. 400 and still stronger than 20. Let's roll. Woo. And that's it, guys. Like, subscribe, share, and watch tomorrow, because tomorrow we're doing the squat. Let's build, man.